'68 was cram-packed with enough events that could have covered the whole century.
The assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King.
If his life was not worth very much, then who am I? I don't care how fast and how far you can jump. You're still just another nigger.
That single gesture was like a stick of dynamite in a pile of dynamite.
People thought that the victory stand was a hate message, but it wasn't. It was a cry for freedom.
I saw this young kid over there talking all this smack, making noise. And I went over to one of the other top sprinters at the time and said, "Who the heck's this guy over there?" And he said, "Ah, some high school kid named Carlos."
John Carlos was New York City.
More specifically, Harlem. On those streets, Carlos learned to fight his battles and handle his hustles.
He was boisterous on the track, he was boisterous in the classroom, he was boisterous in the parties that he attended, he was boisterous when he tried to hit on women.
With John, it was as if he was on the street up in Harlem, running from one fire hydrant to the next.
He could eat a hot dog, drink a soda, and come out and beat most guys.
They're announcing last call for the 100 meters. All the other guys are down there at the starting line. John is sitting up in the stands joking with his friends.
Drinking wine, smoking dope. After being challenged by 3 sprinters, he walked down underneath the stands, took his street clothes off, got in a track uniform.
And he'd get down in the starting blocks and be talking to the sprinters.
Carlos says in his heavy New York accent, "Come on, sucker, I want to see what you got."
The performance of the men's team was astounding, in some ways even historic. Led by the sprinters, black athletes won 7 of the track team's remarkable 12 gold medals and smashed 5 world records.
You had Tommy Smith, John Carlos.
2 men who ran 200 meters straight into history.
When the guy said, "On your mark," I said a little prayer. It was like a volcano getting ready to explode.
It's a good start. And Carlos, as usual, has burst out of the blocks.
With about 40 meters of the race gone, John had a gold medal in his hand.
Right now it's Carlos and Smith, and here comes Tommy Smith!
It was on the way out to the podium that I said to John, "Have you got one of those buttons that I could wear?" And he said, "If I give you one, would you wear it?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Even though I was probably the wrong colour, I believe in human rights. I believed in what these 2 guys were about to do.
We saw the fist as not only a courageous gesture, but we also saw the fist as symbolic of black men who would stand up in a racist society.
That moment was as profound to those of us who were young as Rosa Parks' refusal to stand up on the bus in Montgomery and to give up her seat.
History now links Smith and Carlos forever. 1 minute of their life, for which they paid the steepest price. After the games, both were branded as outcasts. Carlos suffered immensely, eventually losing his wife to suicide. He and John Carlos turned a simple race into a defining moment in American history. In victory, they bowed their heads and drove to the sky, their fists of freedom.
They were not terrible people, but they were people who saw wrong and tried to right it, much as Gandhi or King or Malcolm. Remember them as people who were brave.
I was one of those who said, "My God, who do these guys think they are?" 3 decades later, these guys proved to be correct. It opened everybody's eyes, like anybody that starts a revolution. It was Tommy and John's contribution to history. 2 simple athletes who ran in circles, captured the entire world for a brief moment.